Hey guys, I'm Times Free Press sports editor Stephen Hargis, along with assistant editor Lindsey Young, and we'd like to welcome you to the first of our high school football videos that we're going to be doing this season. Lindsey, it's here.
It is here.
The season is here. North Georgia started last week. We had some games there. This week, everybody, Tennessee and Georgia, both get going. So we've got a full slate of games. We start Thursday with McMinn County at Bradley Central. That is the second oldest rivalry in the state of Tennessee. They play Thursday night. Friday, we'll come back to that in just a second. Saturday, we have another rivalry with Brainerd at Howard. And then Sunday on ESPN, national TV, will broadcast Raven Gap at Baylor. Friday, we've got just some of the games that stand out to me looking at it. You've got Chat Prep at Boyd Buchanan. Chat Prep looking to take a step up this year in their competition level. Boyd Buchanan coming off of a state runner-up last year. We've got Red Bank hosting Tyner. Tyner looks like they could be headed back toward the team that won the state championship a couple of years ago. They've got a lot of young talent. And then a game that I'll be at, Sequatchie County at Bledsoe County. Those two teams in our outlying area look like they could be really strong in their classification. So that's what we're looking forward to this weekend. Lindsey, last week we had quite a few Georgia games. What are some things that stood out to you from there?
Bad weather. But anyway, some of the things last week were a little lack of offense in a lot of areas. We had several teams get 10 points or less. 3 teams were shut out. And this time of year, that kind of happens, but
how much do you think? Just early season, defenses are ahead of offenses? I mean, how much do you think that had to do with it?
And the weather had a lot.
Yeah.
It was raining. It was, I think half of them didn't want to be there at 2 in the morning. So I'm going to Magic Morgan Stadium in Dade County to cover Tryon. These two were region rivals until this year, and now they've been split up due to the reclassification, but they're still Class A. Dade has one kid, Evan Koger, who can test them. He's really fast. He's like 190 pounds, put up 100-plus yards this past week. But they're going to have to play some defense on Tryon quarterback Cade Smith to get in it.
I know one of the teams that played last week had a big win in your area was Chattanooga.
Yes.
Big shutout win. We'd like to throw a shout out. First of all, Scott Chandler, former Tyner coach, is now on the staff at Chattanooga. Also former Cleveland and South Pittsburgh coach Danny Wilson, and condolences to Danny. He lost his mother last week, but coached in the game and helped them to a shutout win. Paul Ellis, who's the all-time winningest coach in Fort Payne history, and now he's on that staff. Mm-hmm. Danny Wilson has won multiple state championships. Scott Chandler won a state championship with Tyner, so those guys could be that could be a lot of problems for folks down that way.
Yeah, they've got good athletes, and they're finally they put one of the better athletes at quarterback, and he ran for 200 yards, and they've got another kid that can fly, Corey Gibson.
As far as this, some teams to watch for this season, just looking ahead a little bit, Baylor McCallie, they're not going anywhere. Yeah. Baylor's got 7 seniors who've already have offers from FBS schools. McCallie's right there behind them. Those two teams have just reloaded, so they're not going anywhere. Baylor McCallie, look for them probably potentially to meet again for a state championship just like last year. Boyd Buchanan, similarly, they're not going anywhere with Gary Rankin as their coach, the state's all-time winningest coach, and they've just reloaded with some talent there. A lot of in Tennessee, a lot of our better teams outside of the private schools, I think, will be in the outlying schools. We've mentioned Bledsoe County and Sequatchie County, Marion County also in 2A. There's the possibility if Marion and Bledsoe stay healthy, they could actually wind up, because they're in opposite regions, they could play each other in the semifinals for the right to go to the state championship. They're that good. Sequatchie County, similarly, it's been a while since they've been as loaded as they are this year, and they're still fairly young, but big things are expected up and down the Sequatchie Valley. Of course, South Pittsburgh won a state championship last year. They only have 4 returners coming back. They're going to be very young, but in 1A, I think they've got the athletes to compete there with Whitwell. It'll be so those two intra-county teams kind of battling it out along with Chat Prep in 1A. So that's really kind of some teams that we're eyeballing to watch for as the season goes. But this was our first video. Hopefully we didn't screw it up too bad, so we get to do number 2 next week. Until then, we'll see you guys, and hope to see you guys at a ball game somewhere on a Friday night.